All right, so welcome to another edition of Sunday Market Outlook. It is January 5th of 2025. So this is our first official Sunday Market Outlook for the year. I got my co-host, Mr. Brent Badal, looking fresh, ready to crush it this week to set the tone for 2025. And if you're watching this recording, shout out to you guys for investing into this information. Shout out to everybody else that is live with us right now. And without further ado, I'm going to pass the mic to Brent so he can kick us off with the fundamentals for the week. So let's rock and roll, bro.
Let's go. Let's go. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Go over the goods. So obviously we're gonna go over news, guys. News, as we know, don't fall for the smoke, but we want to make sure that if there's news at what time there is, we trade it correctly. We take full advantage of obviously the moves. As you guys know, I love trading high impact news, and it's important to know kind of what's going on, where things are going, right? So as far as tomorrow, when it comes to USD, we do have FOMC speakers, nothing really to worry about. Final service PMI, nothing really to worry about. So tomorrow should be kind of chill. Although keep in mind, it's still kind of the first week. I know it's weird because it's the fifth already, but it's still kind of the first week of the year trading. So obviously just be ready for some big moves, at least some rallies possibly that may happen. But we are starting off really with no news at that point. Running into Tuesday, that's when we start having some more news, right? So we have the ISM services PMI, JOLTS job openings. That's a good one too. And it's happening at 9. It's a good time. 7:30, we start seeing the market move, especially 7:30. 8:30, we have our opening bell, Central Standard Time, and then 9. So it's a really good when we have these types of news in that time frame of 7 to 9. It's really good. It'll help us get more volume to where the market needs to go, right? So I like the timing of when it's happening on Tuesday. Wednesday, we go into unemployment claims, but first we go into ADP non-farm employment change. So that's the ADP employment change one. So there are a couple of different ones we'll learn as we go throughout the year here, the differences between all of those. But here the timing makes perfect sense, right? So Wednesday right away, we have 7:15 news right away with ADP. 15 minutes later, 7:30 employment claims move right away. FOMC member Waller, shout out to Waller. Waller was yellow, like non-existent, and slowly he's been creeping up his way into orange and get more and more known and move the market a little bit. So hey, that's good for him. Good time, 7:30. 9 crude oil, 12 10-year bonds. So this one's yellow, but remember there's some news. Even though it's yellow, we still want to pay attention to what the data shows. So this one, the 10-year bond, 30-year bond, we always want to look at when it especially comes to NAS or any index really at that point, because indices are tied a lot into retirement plans, right? Like the VOO and things like that for that nature. So 10-year bond kind of paints that picture for the swing trade, for the long term, what we're looking at, right? So it's just good data to get there. Meeting minutes, the one that's important that I'm actually interested in looking at, which it's yellow, consumer credit. So that was really interesting to see where things are at. I know that sales weren't the same for this Christmas, obviously with economy and things like that. So really interesting to kind of see where things are. And you can see right away the previous was 19 billion and then looking at it to be 9 billion. So interesting to see what's going to happen there. That's going to happen at 2. But again, more importantly, we're going to have those massive moves during the morning, really at that one. So super excited for Wednesday. Thursday, it's kind of chill at that point with anything red. There's nothing high, but we do have a lot of news. And again, the one I want us to pay attention to is going to be the 30-year bond. Okay, just look at that data, see what's going to happen just for the long-term run, especially since we trade NAS so heavily, right? And then Friday, we close out the week with another strong set of news. So Friday, we close out with averagely hours, non-farm employment change, unemployment rates, consumer sentiment, inflation expectations. Friday should be just a slaughter. I'm going to have so much fun because of that. I'm not promising if I even go live. As you know, I don't trade much Fridays. I don't trade much Mondays. But when there's set of news like this, I love it. So it's really kind of the first week, right, of the year. And then we close out this way on a Friday. Really excited for that. What does this mean? Really, this means at the end of the day, at that point, that the market should really shift and move pretty strong to where it wants to go. And that's good for us when we're looking for our TP3s, TP4s. When we're looking to scalp in those channels a lot, we're going to have really big movements at that point, lots of volume in the market, which is something that we need. We haven't really had for the last few months because it dies down a little bit. That doesn't mean that the results haven't been there. I mean, obviously the results have been there. Rich and I both crushed it in December, which is the month that is slow and nobody should trade. We did what we've been doing for the last few years, so that was great. But I'm really excited that we're going to kind of come out that slowness at that point to really shoot up to where we need to get those really quick 500,000, 1,500 pips in a matter of under 30 minutes, right? Get those big moves, get them really fast, especially with NAS. And I'm hoping that gold kind of pushes out that zone that it's kind of stuck with this amount of news that we have. But we'll go into the charts now. So take it from here, Rich. Let's see the charts for gold and we'll talk about it, check the charts for NAS and have some fun.
Yes, sir. All right. So let's get into it, guys. So yes, let's start off with gold. When it comes to gold, right? All righty. So first and foremost, we look at things on a daily time frame. Um, Man, gold just hasn't really been as nice as it's been towards middle to end of last year, man, honestly. Um, and I feel like you guys can kind of see it in like the conversations that happen daily in akashx. Like don't get me wrong, gold is creating moves for sure. I know Brent's been doing his TTTs with gold and Joel, and we keep it pushing. It's just I don't know. I don't feel the same energy around gold as much as it was. Just because we got so used to this like crazy bull run that we were in. Oh my God, they're starting to spam the chat again. Hold on. All right, all right.
Now they're in Spanish. I can say it in
Yeah,
Spanish.
I know. We got a Spanish
Yeah.
spammer now. That's
Siguen
great.
ladrando
Well,
los perros porque vamos
Andrea, it was fun
avanzando.
while you were here. You can go. All right, so we're gonna have to keep the chat closed for a little bit, guys. So I apologize for that. And this is a big reason why, sometimes people are like, "Oh, why don't you guys do Zoom instead of akashx?" It's things like that, guys. We have sometimes the Zoom sessions are really chill, but a lot of times it could get a little bit annoying with that stuff. But yeah, just getting straight into it with gold. I don't really like there's really no areas or anything that really stands out to me. I like if you see me kind of like frozen here, it's just because I don't know. Like really the only thing I could really say is we have seen gold kind of shift structure after taking out all of these lows here. We had this massive, push to the downside, but ever since we really started grabbing these lows here, we've seen price shift bullish, fail to make new lows, and now we've made a new high in the market. So for the most part, I'd assume we retrace somewhere into this 2620 to 2630 level and continue to rise to make new highs, potentially even come to grab these equal highs here. This is my just general, overall time frame of just looking at gold in the grand scheme of where we're at right now. This is what I would anticipate for gold. Brent, I'm sure will definitely have cleaner insights than me right now, but again, I just look at, how's price reacting to creating new highs and lows, and if we just follow market structure, again, from this extreme high point right here, price was on a downtrend. We bottomed out here, failed to make new lows, started shifting higher, again failing to make new lows, and now we've made a new high to end last week. So retracing somewhere into like halfway of this last push to the upside, this move right here. So from here to here, this is that last rally, right? I would think that obviously unless price breaks and closes below here, then we will realign with the bearish trend. But for now, that bearish trend seems to have kind of halted since we have again failed to make new lows and shifted higher. So for the most part, again, like just looking at key levels, like price touched here, here, here a couple of times. So that price point, which is like 26.35, is an important area to keep an eye on, right? In general, we should be holding here. If we continue to hold there, then I do expect again new highs and then potentially see if we come into these areas overall. If we do dip below here, then yes, you could see sells potentially to clear these lows if the bear structure is going to realign again. But it doesn't. I think overall, like even if we do break below here, I'd still want to look for buys just because we broke above here. So anywhere again, somewhere in here, and just wait for it to break back above 26.35 is the move that I'd be looking for if I were to trade gold this week. So that's how I see it from like a higher time frame perspective. So pretty simple analysis on my part. I'll let Brent, cover a little bit more of what he sees there, but that's really it for gold to keep it short.
Yep. Kind of the same situation here. I'll show you what I got. Gold, like you said, it's been good. It's not been the best. There's been a kind of a mixed bag. I mean, I even showed just in full transparency last week on the last tap to trade, right? Typically, I'm good. It's like three, four, five, eight in a row. I'll lose one, and again, three, four, five, lose one. But it's been win one, lose one, win one, lose one. It's been just a back and forth situation, and you kind of see that with gold. It hasn't really trended the way it should clean. Like, okay, cool, we're bull, we're bull. It should just retrace half, dunks all the way down. Well, in that pace, we should go up halfway and then go down, but it decides to go up and then go down and then go up again. So it's been doing a lot of that really for the last few weeks, especially last week. It did that a lot. Here, I really, for me to touch gold, you kind of see I put all these, this is from my scanner that I have, right? You can see all these yellow, pink, yellow, pink, yellow, pink, blue. All these are points of interest where the market has touched and retouched multiple times, right? So there are areas that we could look at. As you can see, there's a lot of them, and there shouldn't be that many of them. Really, there should only be two or three on each side. So that itself is just there's so many areas that I went back and forth, and I didn't respect to where at this point, really for gold, I'd be interested on touching gold. Like really, if it completely comes out, like Rich was saying, come out, break, go up, but really break this 52, this previous day high, and let us come back up into this high, and even better just keep on going up a little bit more around that 26.7 because that was really an interesting point where I touched a few months ago, right? A few weeks ago at that point. That would be nice as much as I don't like buying. That would be very clean. Like that would be the clean thing for gold to do, but it hasn't been clean. So because it hasn't been clean, there's still the possibility of this saying, you know what? We're bare. We're bare. And then all of this mess happened to where it could be like, you know what? Now that I thought about it, yeah, we're there. And let it just keep on going down. And that really kind of makes more sense because if you look at it even on the hour side of things, like we still have this area that I drew a long time ago that we needed to see all of this side down to the 25.80, 25.50. So like all of the, like literally all the way down to 2000. Not saying we're going to see 2000 next week, guys, but I'm just saying like, look how much we have down there to come retrace, touch, all that stuff compared to the upside. So it would be really nice as we saw here, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Like it would be really nice, especially me being that I like selling like my bears. I would like it to sell, go down. It would be really nice if it decides to kind of come back into this channel, if that makes any sense. Kind of come back into this channel, keep on going down. But textbook wise, it's what Rich said. Let it break, come up, go, completely break our previous day high, come up and grab this other high, and then come up and grab this other high. Like that makes more sense on the books for sure. That's what I got for gold.
Cool, bro. All right, so let's dive into Nas. Um, all right. And one final note, too, guys. Like people that follow Brent and I, Brent, has a similar system of how like you treat gold and NAS in the same way as far as like the what you look for with your scanners and everything, right?
Yes.
All right. So like for me with gold, since I can't apply my Liberty stuff to it, what I really rely on when I was trading gold more actively, especially like if you just want to get a directional bias for like the week, maybe is key levels, guys. That's something that does translate across the board. Just look at, and some people will call it support and resistance areas, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. But just look at 26.35, right? Like if we're gonna look for decision points, this is the decision point, right? 26.35. Because again, we've seen that when price stays below 26.35, it has gone to here, it has gone to here, it has gone to here. So if we break below 26.35, we can look to get to these points where price has visited before, right? Same thing for the upside. When price has stayed above 26.35, for example, you can see again how this area was very heavy with sideways orders until we decided to pop all the way up here, right? So when we've stayed above 26.35, we've had the potential to get to here. So now that we just popped above 26.35, we can again expect price to come here or here. That's how I would trade even Nas before I had Liberty, like just key levels and overall looking at structure, right? So I think overall, again, 26.35 is going to be that major area where, we can find a move where if you get the direction right, again, it could break below, like Brent said, and this could just be one big correction of the bearish trend. Then we'd go for new lows. And that would be a move in itself of what, 500 pips or I haven't traded Go in a while. Is it five? That's not 5,000. It's got to be 500, I think there.
500. Yeah, I think it's 500.
Yeah, should be
Yeah.
500. That's how you know I haven't touched gold in forever.
I'm just an educator, bro. I don't know math.
This is 100 pips, so yeah, 500. Yeah, it makes sense. 500 pips. Um, and the same thing with the upside, like if we even get to make a new high really from this point right here, we're looking at maybe 300 pips. Yeah, about 300 pips. And then to make the highs break really like to where we saw it before, that's about 800 pips. So if I were to even touch gold nowadays, I treat it more of like a swing trading perspective personally. But again, guys, just know who to go to for what, right? Like I won't sit here and tell you to listen to me for gold, really. I do apply the things that I've understood about market structure and things of that nature. And we did well, like when I traded gold for akashx, a year and a half ago. But just make sure you guys keep a pulse with Brent because at the end of the day, like what we say now on a Sunday call, heading into tomorrow can change a lot during London session. As we know, gold is a universal commodity, right? It's not just something that is United States based. Yes, we trade gold against the dollar,
Yes.
but every country like has a big role to play, especially with all the political climate stuff going on now. I know, Brent, you said you wanted to say something, right?
You just reminded me of that too on gold. Another reason why gold could just do what Rich just said, in a sense of like go up and then reach those highs, like I'm saying as well, the quademic now. So that's a whole other thing that just started too now, where there's a lot of states that are mandating masks. The whole China thing now that started too, where they have their iPhone SE that they're recording for whatever reason where it looks blurry. So yeah, you know how I'm about my conspiracy theories, but that itself, we saw what happened in 2019. Gold rose. Like the moment pandemic hits, recession hits, the dollar goes down, gold goes up. So just how we saw it with the whole Ukraine-Russia situation where it just skyrocketed, went with a bull, 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 bull out of nowhere, we could see that happen too. Obviously, they haven't confirmed it yet as a pandemic and this and that, the whole nine, but we're starting to see a lot of that already. And a lot of different news outlets, media outlets, more than anything, media, social media outlets are starting to see that. But even today, I was on a couple of news outlets, like on the actual news, where the reporters are saying about this and that. And that itself, just be aware from that too on gold. You have to look at that. That's one of those things. So good point there, Rich, too.
Yeah, for sure, bro. All right, cool. So yeah, we'll move on to Naz here now. I'm gonna try to chat one more time because I know that you guys may have, questions, and we love to interact on these calls. Really, I mean, that's why I like them so much. So I'll open it again. Fingers crossed, and no more scammers. If not, I mean, we'll just boot them again. What we'll do is like, if we get one more spammer, we'll just boot them, and we'll leave the chat open, and then not let nobody else in because we're already on the tail end of the call anyway. So, all right, cool. Oh, the trading
Wait,
plan.
well,
Yes,
bro,
Brent.
we are back home now. So
We
Rich
knew
is
we were
back
gonna
home.
get that call, bro.
Yeah. Rich is back home,
Yeah,
right?
I'm
Not
back home.
blaming Rich, but Rich is back home now. I got a lot of stuff that I had to get out of the way done now. So I have like two, three things to do tomorrow. Like I smashed everything for tomorrow and Tuesday. So that way, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we have enough time for Rich
Here,
and I
let's do this,
to
bro.
do
Let's
that.
do this real quick before we get into Nas. I'm gonna tell you guys. we're gonna tell you guys like these are just things that you want to start recording data wise, and then we'll give you like the actual template and like a nice little package thing. But I want everybody right now, like write this down, put it in your phone notes, do something, right? And Brent, I know like we're doing this on the fly, like off the top of my head right now. Okay, so I'm gonna just
Yep.
be honest with y'all. But
Yep.
like we know what to look like, what you need to be recording and paying attention to. So if I miss something, Brent, please, bro,
Yep.
fill in the blanks. But I want you guys like right now, this is what you guys need to make sure that you're notating when it comes to your trading plan. Okay. Number one, again, Brent, if you have a good idea, bro, just throw it out. I think
Yep.
obviously we're gonna knock down the main ones.
Yep.
Is what am I trading? Okay. So obviously, like you see, Brent is gold, right? And Nas. Me personally, all I do is trade Nas. So my trading plan is a lot simpler. Brent only trades those two assets. It's a lot simpler for him. Do you have to only trade one or two assets? No, you can trade other things, but you got to know. Like you have to decide what you're going to do. And I'm not saying you can't change your plan throughout the course of this year, but the point is to have structure in your life, right? Why are we doing this call right now? We're doing this call because we want to create structure in our week. We want to have the discipline, the habit of getting one step ahead of the market, being ready, and not being caught on our heels Monday morning when we're half asleep trying to find a trade. That I've tried that. It's not fun. So just like consider that. Like what am I trading? Make that decision now. And when you if and when you pivot to trade something else, it may or may not happen. Like have a good reason why. Because you know what's gonna happen, guys? A lot of you, and I don't want to get into a whole mindset training because, whatever. We did that with the 2025 call, but you don't want to like don't be that person this year that gets caught in hype. You're gonna see this new strategy, this new pair, this new thing. There's always gonna be the hot thing on the block. And don't get me wrong, like we like new energy, fresh energy. Like you see, Brent just changed his background setup. I changed my background setup. Like I believe in new things, right? But what I'm saying is like don't get caught in hype. Like get hype about consistency. Like be excited to build on something because if you're always switching strategy, always jumping to the next hot asset or hot this or hot that, like you're just gonna be that person that just hops around. And there's people that hop around trading academy to trading academy. There's people that hop around, they start trading and then they do drop shipping and then they do this and then they do that. And it's like just have a plan and try to at least stick to it for a while to show that it works or not. So, what am I trading should be the number one thing. I'll let Brent pitch in the second one here.
I know it's important to audit your account. So what I mean by audit your account, guys,
Like
is
journaling.
no, not even journaling, bro. So I don't, I'm the worst journaling. Luisito made me journal and it helped immensely because I was just so hot-headed and I wanted to trade every single pair. And I had like 30 different pairs on there and I was in 10 trades at the same time. So he like made me calm down and like be more consistent doing that way, right? But what I mean by audit your account is when you're running auditing on yourself or on a company, whatever, you want to like break down exactly everything and understand what this does. So when I say audit your account, you have a 10K account. Cool. Now, with your 10K account, I want you to go into Trade Locker. Don't take a trade, right? Go into Trade Locker, use the little square on the bottom right, and just say like, okay, if right now NAS is here and I were to take a 20 up sell at 0.01 lot, what is my risk? Okay, cool. If I put it three, what is my risk at this? And if I put it at one lot, when you start doing that, you're auditing, you understand how much can your account take? Because that's super important, especially when you're in a community like akashx, because what's happening? Rich sends a trade alert. I'm taking a live trade. Joe is sending a tap to trade. Like everything is happening at the same time. And if you don't fully understand how much can your account take, you are going to go in crazy. And that kind of falls into like what Rich said, know what you're trading, right? Like a lot of times, like I know Joe's sent right now a Bitcoin trade. Have you ever traded Bitcoin? Have you ever even went into your trade locker and said, okay, if Bitcoin is right here and I take a sell or a buy right here, what does that look like? Have you done that before? Or are you just gonna rush in there, do it, and then what do we see in the chats? Oh my God, I don't know what's happening. I'm down this much. I'm like, why? Like, audit your account, understand what happens with what pairs when you trade it, what happens when you put a stop loss at this distance, at left has. And as you're auditing, guess what's happening? You're practicing and you get a lot quicker to understand, okay, when I click the risk button that Brent showed on this video, this happens. When I do the calculation of the lot size, like Rich shows on his trading series, okay, great. So that's what I mean by audit your account. Understand how far, like how much can you push your account at that point. That's what I mean by audit your account.
All right, perfect. Um, I appreciate you guys dropping in the chat the catching people up if they miss it. Okay. The third thing, and we're starting with simple things, right? I mean, Brent definitely touched on a little bit more of a detailed thing, but nonetheless, it's an important thing, right? Um, in fact, what he mentioned right now is actually like I call it like the intangible things. It's like the stuff that you have to, it's like detailed, right? Like you have to understand the devil's in the details. You ever heard of that? Like that's where the magic is at, is in understanding what Brent just talked about with reviewing the trades and seeing exactly how things play out so that you can kind of know what to expect. The third thing I think is what sessions am I trading? All right. I've made it very clear, and you guys can see it with my trade alerts that I do not differ from it at least 95 to 98% of the time. Like I can't say 100% because maybe once in a long time, but for the most part, I only ever trade and send a trade during New York session. Now, there are people, probably less on this specific Outlook call, that are from Europe that love trading, for example, my strategy during London. And I don't do that because I have to sleep at least something or I'll die, right? So, it is what it is. But for you guys, maybe you do want to trade both London and New York session because of your time zone or your lifestyle, whatever. Just decide that because one session that is completely out of bounds, zero, like no chance of me trading is Asian session because of my strategy. So I have a very clear for me, like I only trade New York. So imagine my clarity is already subconscious because I've been doing this for a while, but I know that I am only trading from 8 in the morning to like 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern. And I know that I'm only trading NAS 100. Now, for you guys that are students that are in part of an entire community and whatnot, you guys may be taking trades from me and Brent and Joel and this person and that person. So that has to be part of your plan. You need to understand, like, you know, and I think you can put that in, man, that might be a separate section here. Like, I don't know if you know what I'm saying, Brent, but like there's people like, for example, we trade on our own, right? But
Yeah.
then you may have accounts where you're taking some of my setups, right? And then some
Yeah.
people that are students, you're going to be taking only TTTs or you're going to be taking only trade alerts from me and Brent. Like your plan is going to be very specific and you have to know. Like you can't be here, guys, in 2025 and be like, oh, this week I'm going to take Rich's trades only. And then you're going to be like, oh, next week I'm only taking Brent's trades. And then the next week, I'm only going to take this person's trades. Because what happens if this week I only call for whatever reason? Let's just say like things are not good. I call out 3 trades. I win one, lose two. You're going to be like, damn, Richard won one out of 3 trades and my account's down right now. This is whack. I'm going to go and jump to this guy now. And then Brent goes and he has a subpar week. And then you go to the next person and they have a subpar week. Then you're gonna go into week 4 and you're like, I've tried each trader for a week and they all suck. Well, guess what? Week 2, I went and crushed it. Week 3, Brent went and crushed it. But because you're not sticking to the same freaking person and letting the results stack up, you're all over the place.
I think it would
Like
be
you have to decide what you're gonna do.
a good title to that. I think it would be like just how we know like what sessions are you trading and audit your account. It's more of like learn the educators. 'Cause that's the biggest thing too, like you
Yeah.
said, right? If you are beginning to trade and understand like Rich, he doesn't like to send London trades, right? Because he needs to sleep. Well, are you on the same time zone? And
Right.
if another educator sends a trade alert, are you really going to be able to just go to sleep? You shouldn't, because when TP1 hits, what do you have to do? You have to move stop loss, this and that. So you're going to start hesitating. You're going to take a trade. Even if you are not finding the trade yourself, you need to know. That's why it's important as far as knowing what session am I trading. It may be something that you are not specifically finding the trade and you're just copying and pasting from us, and that's perfectly fine. But understand for yourself, for your own mental sanity. And it's super important to not hesitate, right? Because what happens? Out of the blue, Rich sends a trade at night. Midnight, he sends a trade. And do I take it? Do I not take it? Do I take it? Do I not take it? The entry was at 500. And next thing you know, by the time you took it, it's already at 470. Like, it wasn't your session. You know what I mean? Like that's where you need to understand that part. And then you need to understand as far as like learning the educators too. That's the biggest thing too. Like, okay, you know what? I send trades like this, Rich sends trades like this, Joe, John, but everybody else, we have our own ways of trading it. So you could take trades from multiple educators, but you need to understand like, hey, you know what? Okay, this educator trades this specific way. Do I want to go on this ride with him right now or not? Like, because you could decide to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a trade from Brent and Rich, but then there could be at that specific moment, at that specific time, for whatever's going on with you to say, hey, you know what? I'm busy right now. I got this, and that. I'm not going to take this trade right now. I'm not going to take in the session. I do it sometimes and I don't take it bad, right? So there is very rare times where I send a trade alert at nighttime or I tap the trade at night for gold. Very rare. And when I do it and we hit take profit, a lot of times I'll get the message like, hey, bro, I took it, but I only took it half a lot size. Like I cut my risk in half because you never send a trade at night. I actually get very thankful and grateful and I say thank you because that means you know me. That means you studied me. That means you know that I don't send trades at night. Therefore, you knew the risk was probably there, but you trust me enough to take it, but not enough to risk fully, right? Thank you. Like that means you are actually paying attention. You're taking details on who we are, how we trade, and all that good stuff. So it's super important that you understand that in your trading plan, you learn not only your account, but you learn the educators and their specific ways of trading too.
Fire, bro. Um, I think the last thing we'll end with this, guys, because we don't want to like turn this into a whole thing of this. But the question was asked, and we did promise that. So at least we gotta give you. We're gonna meet you halfway. All right. We're gonna give you guys things that you should be, considering. And this is just like this is second nature to us. This is like ABC 1, 2, 3, obvious. But for new people, it may not be, and that's why you may be struggling. Like anybody that's struggling in trading is simply a issue of competence. Like you just don't know yet, and you can't be so hard on yourself. But you do need to get a grip and plan it because, at the end of the day, I'm a very optimistic person. We talk about positivity and thinking, but man, I'm sorry, bro. Positive thinking is not gonna make you money. Like you gotta get serious. Like you. I hate when people just think that you're gonna manifest stuff because you say it in the mirror. It's not gonna work. Like if you don't actually do what you need to do, it's not gonna work. Okay. So these are the 4 or 5 things that if you start with this, I think this is really the top five that you need anyways, to be honest. Like we're gonna come up probably with some other stuff, but this is the hammering down of the details that you guys just need to do for your trading plans. And again, we'll package it and do it nice or whatever for you guys. But like if you just do this, like you're good. I think the last thing, Brent, if you want to give a bonus one after, if you find something that's like
Yep.
very important that I'm missing right now, but I think it's just like the risk plan with your trades. Like how much are you risking per trade? And again, it's gonna go into what Brent said, like um whose trades are you taking? Right? Because we know that if you're somebody that's going to be taking trades from a certain person that is very active in a session, like taking multiple positions in one session, like let's say 3 trades, 5 trades, whatever, you're going to probably have to size down a bit, like naturally, because of it's not just about how much are you making if you win all those trades, it's like how much are you losing if you lose all those trades. And I know Brent's nodding his head, so he agrees with me. Like capital preservation number one, making money number two. And if you can't handle drawdown, there's no point in looking at the potential profit. I can risk my whole account and have a potential profit of quadrupling my account, but do I really want to risk my whole account? No. Okay, so if you won't do that to risk your whole account, you should keep that same energy with looking at it, whether it's 1%, 2%, 5%, it doesn't matter. Like the point is you assume the loss. So how much are you risking per trade? For me, I tell all my people like what I mean by my people is like people who just follow my trades is that I'm not gonna be very frequent with trade alerts. I'll maybe do anywhere from like 2 to 4 a week. So risking 1% on the setup is really not a lot. Like it's not a lot because I'm not putting you guys at a lot of risk exposure. The max risk exposure I'm putting you at on a weekly basis is maybe 4%, like 4 trades. But I probably won't even push a fourth trade if we've had like a bad week. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, I would say like your max risk exposure on my part is like 3 trades, three losses. And I have lost 3 trades in a row before in akashx. It's happened. It's been a while. Like December was a really good month for me and Brent. But I've had a couple times in the year where I lost 3 on the alerts. Very few times, but at least maybe 2 or 3 times, I would say. So you have to be prepared for that. And again, you've seen with some other educators that if you risk heavy, like you will blow your challenge. Like you're gonna blow your challenge, you're gonna regret it big time. It is what it is. And so I would say, and this is like not just a generic trading plan thing, but in general, guys, like if you're newer, if you're not where you want to be at, if you haven't seen good results, if you're like just there has no evidence yet that you should be sizing up, like you have to take a step back and size down, bro. Like you should be doing a 1/4% or a 0.5%, because once you start winning a lot at 0.5% or 1/4%, then yo, you know what? I'm missing out on money. Let me up it. But if you're losing and you're not doing things correctly, you're gonna be very glad that you lost 3 or 4 trades and you're only down 1 or 2%, versus you going all in and being down 4 to 8% on your account. So start small, scale up, whether that's your risk per trade or your funded account size. Like there's nothing wrong with doing a 10K. You're not gonna make the money you probably want from it right away, but the same way you look at how much am I willing to lose per trade, I'm looking at how much of my real money am I willing to lose on a funded account, for example. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like scale up your risk. But these are 5 things I think you gotta definitely consider. I don't know if Brent, you have any thoughts on the risks thing, or if you want to throw a bonus one in there, and then we'll move on to cover NAS and crypto and wrap this up. But yeah, bro.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say. Risk management, bro. Just understand, right? The whole, like, I say this on every beginning of the session, right? Like, I risk 0.5% a day to secure 1% a day to use anything left over for 2%. And I say, get ready to take 3 to 5 trades in this session right now. So you divide that. That's all it is. Like and the cool thing is when you do it in this order, you already audited your account, right? So you already know what you could do, how far you could push your account right at that point. Not that you should, but you just understand now. Okay, cool. With gold, every time I do this lot to this one, it's this, blah, 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 boom, boom, boom. Cool. Awesome. At that point, you're good, right? You already understand that. And then when you're using the videos that we have in akashx, as far as like what for a 50K, what we suggest, like Diego said, right? There's a video that I have if you go back a few weeks ago in the replay session that says how to find your proper lot size. Like through the auditing, you'll understand how to find your proper lot size through the auditing. And now it's just a fact of saying, hey, you know what? This is what I'm risking per trade per day. The rest goes because now you've learned already how each educator trades. You've learned what sessions you're best at, even if it's just copying. And then you're already auditing, you know that part. And then you're trading. So now it's just fully following that plan. That's all you have to do. Follow on that plan, focus on the plan, literally like understand your risk management. And that's it. Like that's it. From there on, now that you understand all of this, and it's your plan, thank you for putting that there, Rich, literally reading my mind. It's literally your plan, guys. You can decide what you want to do. Just because I tell everybody, hey, cool, you know what? You sign up with 150, you got a 10K. Yeah, $100 isn't enough for you, which is crazy, but okay, cool, whatever. $100 isn't enough for you. Awesome. Okay. Get your free 10K, pass your 10K, cash out on your 10K, buy a 200K. Done. And then you just repeat what you just did one more time. Period. That's all it is at that point. And it's a very dangerous game at that point. That's why I said thank you a lot, Rich, for putting that on the others. If you're in a 10K, you're seeing the results lab, and you took Rich's trade alert, you took my live trade, and you see 20 people post on there that they made $1,000 and you made 100, please on the next trade, don't go and put a larger lot size just to make 1,000 too. They made 1,000 because their account is simply one, it's a bigger account. They have a 100K account, 200K account, and they're allowed to do it. Or two, which happens a lot, guys. They don't have this. And what happens with them? They just click the biggest lot that they can, take the trade, and when they win, they win. But when they lose, that's when they ghost and we don't hear from them for 2, 3 weeks until they can buy another account.
Yeah, they're not gonna post that part.
Don't be that guy where you're trying to get 100K account results with your 10K and just risking max margin 100% of your account on each trade just to make a certain dollar amount. Why do I say that in my sessions all the time? Don't chase the dollars, chase the pips. We go for the percentages, we go for the pips. The moment you tell somebody, you could literally go to any financial advisor, bank, whatever. Obviously, Rich was in banking too. He knows this, right? If I pulled up at the bridge at the bank, Rich, and I told you, "Hey, what's up, Rich? I'll invest. I'm good, man. I make an average of 3 to 5% a week on my accounts." And a financial institution, you're gonna be like, "Cap, no way. We're giving you 1.3% a year. What are you talking about?" It's a percentage of how you need to see things. That's how you know you guys are winning. If you guys make 1% a week, you guys are beating any bank out there. 1% a week. Hedge funds give you 9% a year. You're 1% a week. Like, again, it's all in the perspective of how you see things at that point. But definitely, Rich and I, like I said, we'll work this week to make it nicely, videos, the whole nine. Like I said, I have 2, 3 things to do the next 2 days. Rich is back settled in. We'll get everything set and we'll have everything cool for sure for you. But what's the best video to set the proper expectation for new people? akashx launch.
akashxlaunch.com.
That's it. You guys
I was
understand
waiting for it, bro.
something that I learned very hard at the beginning, because I don't come from a strong like network marketing background, is that you are the messenger, not the message. You really shouldn't be setting really expectations because that's a little bit dangerous on your end. It's more of, hey, I'm having an amazing time. These are the results of the community that they're having. You want to come in? akashxlaunch.com. There's a welcome video right there. There's a 48-hour video right there. That's it. That's what does it for you.
And by the way, guys, if you don't know about this, this is Brent, me, and Armin that are on these videos. So these are all certified educators with multiple years of experience. We don't promote specific teams. We don't promote anything except akashx. All right. So you don't got to worry about any like referral links or cross recruiting or anything like that. This is all basically corporate made, and it is built for brand new people or even people that have been in that never really got proper onboarding. So look, me and Brent have come from MLM trading organizations, okay? Um, and we know what it's like to be a part of a team that has no idea what the hell they're doing with trading. But if you're plugged into me and Brent or any of the educators, and you have this resource of akashxlaunch.com, there is zero excuse for you or anybody that you ever enroll about what you need to do. If you don't know what you're doing, it's because you haven't been to akashxlaunch.com. If you don't know what you're doing, it's because you have not been on the educator training series for me and Brent. If you don't know what you're doing, it's because you're not plugging into our live sessions. And if you've done all those three things, you probably haven't been doing it for anything more than 30 to 90 days. And realistically, you should be locking in for the next 12 months if you expect anything big to happen for you. Straight like that.
Yep.
So, y'all know the deal now if you didn't before.
And literally, guys, we've studied this throughout the years, guys. It says your first 48 hours for a reason, guys. Yes, you could go through these videos and knock them out in probably an hour. How much do you really think? I don't care what IQ you have. This is something completely brand new from you. How much do you really think you could grasp, get, understand, and run? Because I literally just had that with somebody too. It's like, hey, I watched a 48-hour video. I watched all the videos on akashx.com. Like, bro, you just signed up like 3 hours ago. Like, what the? I don't know. Where's this? Like, it's in this video. Like, did you really watch it? Like, take your time. It's your first 48. Don't try to come in here day one and try to immediately rush it, guys. It's your first 48, really expectations, right? I always tell everybody, like, hey, don't, I would rather you join and really not even take a trade immediately in the first 3, 4 days, to be honest. Like, I want your first week really to just soak akashxlaunch.com videos, go into the educator training series and watch those videos to really kind of understand when there's a tap trade that comes out, sure, tap it and maybe even just lower the lot size to 0.01 or the risk to 0.01 just to take it and get a little couple bucks while you're in there, but really soak everything in for the first few days. And then you'll be so much more comfortable because what? Now the knowledge is there. You're not a trader, but now at least the knowledge is there to where you fully understand and you comfortably understand to say, hey, you know what? I know how to copy and paste a trade alert now. And if for whatever reason I freeze, I know that this is exactly where that video is for me to go back and recap to. That's going to be so important for you guys. So definitely use this 100%. Use akashxlaunch.com. We will continue to add more. We're already conversating about adding a few more tabs there on the top two with a few new things there. So it'll continue to be updated as time goes. But this is definitely something really good for you guys. Okay.
Facts. All right, so you guys got your five, okay, and we even gave a little bonus one. So me and Brent will coordinate this week to get you guys like a trading plan. But this is it though, guys. You know, like whether you do this on an actual journal, an Excel sheet, you can even do that on TradingView. Like you can like put your setups before and after pictures in here. Like you could do all that, right? Whatever works for you. Everybody's gonna be a little bit different. But these questions that are being posed here are the only way that you can even possibly have any success. Like this is just your roadmap to your focus. All right. So again, everything is built on consistency. Okay. If you guys don't at least give your plan a minimum of 30 days, and that's like nothing really, but at least 30 days for you to even have enough data to say, wow, okay, like trial and error, right? We're not trying to give you trial and error, we're giving you what works. But even if you treated it as trial and error, how long is your trial for? Some people be giving trials of like a day to see if it works. Like no, 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 plug in with me and Brentford 30 days at least, I mean, my goodness. All right, cool. So I'm gonna delete this. All right, let's move on, and we're gonna end it with this because we're about an hour in.
We have a
um
minute left about NAS now.
uh
We got a minute left for NAS.
I know, right? All right, so for Nas, overall, we've seen that we really shifted the last couple of weeks from this massive bullish trend that started really like mid-November. So mid-November, this is like around election time, if I remember correctly. Maybe slightly after. I think elections were what, like the 5th of November? This was like election week right here. So really election week. So since elections, we've seen like that rally pullback, and we've just been pushing higher, 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 higher until we've really climaxed to this point, which was at like mid-December. From mid-December, we saw the markets have this massive sell-off. Okay. And that was really that first shift of structure from this massively bullish environment to a first shift of structure taking us bearish. So because of that, we saw this massive, push back up, failed to make a new high, and we continued lower. So overall, it was a bearish shift that we really got from the markets from this high point where we, made this retracement and made almost a new low. Now we did fail to make a new low in the market for Nas. So we're kind of like wedged in between now if we're gonna end up overall going bearish, right? Or if this was just one big flash crash to just kind of take out all of the buyers from the month here and then eventually shift back up bullish. If you study the last couple of years around holidays, New Year, typically the stock market likes to start strong, and we've seen it like rally. So I think overall Nas, I'm not very pessimistic towards it. I think even with, Trump in office and everything, like businesses and the sentiment from the entire country has been very like up. And even from a technical analysis standpoint, if we drop to the 1 hour, again, we saw this is bearish price action, bearish price action, bearish price action. And really, since we bottomed out here, we saw that we ended, I think it was Friday. We ended with a very strong push to the upside, breaking structure above all of these highs. So, all in all, if we look at again key levels, we saw price react to this price point of 21,300, roughly 21,300, let's call it, right? 21,300, we saw price, really use this as a decision point. And when we're above 21,300, again, we've seen price come up to these all-time highs, I believe, over here, right? Yeah, all-time highs over here. And then we saw price again react from here to push us up to 21,900 roughly. So basically, staying above this 21,300 level, we can get to 21,900 and also 22,100, 21,200 for the all-time highs. So as long as we continue to remain above that and then tied in with my strategy or whatever, then we'll look to, start filling in some of this imbalance and again start targeting these highs, maybe some new all-time highs for the stock market. That's my overall like stronger belief. Now, from an intraday perspective, again, the kind of like how we talked about with gold, if we start to break the Asia low and we start to break below this key level of 21,300, sorry, that was a bad drawing. I pride myself on my drawing skills here. If we stay below here, we'll probably retrace just this last impulse from Friday. It's very possible that we get a retracement first. Maybe below, but overall expecting that to not last very long personally to recover and then take us up at least to fill this imbalance here. I think this is just very obvious that we need to come in and fill that. So overall, maybe short-term sells, maybe if we get a little push below here, but overall looking to ride this back up at least to 21,500 at least. So that's where I'm looking for Nas. Brent, you're gonna share your screen?
Yep, super quick.
Okay, there you go.
For me, you already know for NAS, I like doing my thing for NAS pretty simple, right? I like giving my numbers. I like to get spicy like that. So everything that you said, Rich, I like it. Either we need to come down, break this low to continue coming down to take care of all of this. That'd be super nice if that happens. But most likely it'll come down, support here, and go its way up. Most likely. Especially everything going on with news related, all the type of
Bruh, did you have
this week.
21,500 marked up before I said anything?
Yes.
Bruh, that's ridiculous.
So
We always find a way to be in sync. That's crazy.
before the call started, my next high that I want to see is 21,500. And then from there, see if it breaks and continues going. And if not, it'll like push back on it really hard. And if we go down, then I would like us to really go down to 2,800, like way down there. And we have, with the news that we have for the week, Wednesday, Thursday, it could definitely happen for sure. We could see a big drop all the way down to that to grab all of this and some that we have back there because that that low was super important, as you guys can see. Just how Rich kind of put his line, how it tested multiple times, right? The market. My drawings are horrible. I don't take pride at all in my drawings, guys, as you know. But as you can see here, we had this first break, test, come down, break down. Then we tested multiple times. Then we had a gap. It broke up. We had another one. Then it tested literally right where it was at, bounced up. So I wanted to see, obviously, it came down here. See if it's going to come down, test one more time, and then break below all the way there. But we have those two zones are my zones. I have my bull target for the week, which is 21,500, and my bear target for 2080. And then obviously either test on that drops, like rejects off of it, or it breaks through and it continues off. But those are my two zones for the week. So that's why I said, bro, I definitely want to share my screen here.
Yeah. No, that was perfect. I mean, literally, I see the same thing, bro. So Nas Bros in full effect,
Yes,
without a
sir.
doubt.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. I think other than that, like crypto wise, we've seen some recovery. Like some cryptos have been starting to recover a bit. Um, so I'm obviously happy. I've been in drawdown on multiple cryptos. ApeCoin, Filecoin, I know that what's it called? Armin had told you guys about the rose play. Where is that on my chart here? I don't know why it's not showing here. Um, but nonetheless, yeah, just kind of recovering from drawdown these last couple of weeks. We've seen crypto start to come up again, so that is good to start the year, of course. But look, at the end of the day, man, and let me share my screen here because I think you can just see our faces right now. For me, so um, for me, Bitcoin obviously is always going to be like a major influence with the altcoins. Like for the most part, guys, some of these coins over time are going to start to create a little bit more independence in a way where like their own news and things going on is going to influence their price, of course. But I mean, it's undeniable that, Bitcoin, whatever it does, everything follows for the most part, right? And last week was important because you can see that we have been falling 2 weeks prior on Bitcoin, which was bound to happen. I mean, we literally ran price up like almost 40,000, right? In the matter of a couple of weeks. So that had to kind of chill out for a little bit. But last week was the first bullish week that we've had in multiple weeks, right? So for the most part, and if we look at the monthly candle, we've started off very strong these first 5 days. I think overall we're not done with Bitcoin coming back down, but it's gonna be crucial at this 104 price. So I think this wick right here, we will visit it. And if price rejects from that and starts to break below 92, then that will be our 100% like ready to go push down into below 80. So Bitcoin below 80 back into the mid 70s is without a doubt going to happen. Just because imbalance never lies, especially on the weekly time frame and higher on cryptos. So we will 100% see Bitcoin get down to the 70s. And when that happens, you need to be prepared to probably see your altcoins take a fat dip. So it's just a matter of understanding that. Okay. And yes, I trade NAS 100 only, but I do have diversification into crypto, which again is part of the 2025 plan that me and Brent put together for everybody on our yearly market outlook call last week, which again, you guys can check out the replay the same way that we'll have this replay available very soon. But yeah, man, like again, I'll let Brent throw his 2 cents on crypto stuff before we wrap this up. But Bitcoin below 92 is going to get to the mid 70s for sure. From there, it's going to be very interesting to see if it will go much lower than that. To be quite honest with you guys, I thought that before we hit 100, there was a chance that we could see Bitcoin, come back into the mid 30s. I still don't think that that is a far-fetched idea in the grand scheme of things to get below 40 again. It sounds crazy now, but it was the same way that it was crazy when I was looking to let go of my Bitcoin at 69 and take it to 16. I wish I could have proof of me saying that, but this was before my time in akashx and everything. My proof is my parents' Bitcoin wallet. Like if I show you my parents' portfolio, we literally pulled out at like 65, 67, something like that. And then the reentries were like below 20. So to have an entry come back from 104 to 40 is not abnormal for that to happen. But again, that mid 70s range is more of like a guarantee for me at that point. Just visiting prior structure in this area. It would really take price testing that and rejecting below like 60 for me to really look into expecting 30 something 40 again. But as long as the 70s hold, that'll probably be a very strong point to continue going up. And all of that is relevant because as Bitcoin continues to skyrocket, not every altcoin, of course, but a lot of the ones that have utility, that have something to it, will have its wave, thereafter. Um, so again, like ApeCoin, Filecoin, all these things that we've been in, like they're at better entries now than they were before. I see it that way. At the end of the day, we could lose all our money on these projects for all I know, and I'm more than prepared for that outcome, which sounds crazy, but like that's how I treat crypto. I don't promise myself any profit. And it's worked well. I mean, I've never really lost big money on crypto so far, so but I've lost money with funded accounts, with forex, years of learning. So I think that's why I was a lot more chill with crypto. Y'all Ledger, what ledger you guys use? Well, Ledger is like Nano Ledger, for example. Like I don't know if you mean specifically a ledger. There's different cold wallets if that's what you're talking about. At the end of the day, like when it comes to the cold wallet stuff, just make sure you guys are getting it directly from the manufacturer because there's a big scam where people are ordering it like on Amazon or like different things, and like the Amazon people or whoever is like manipulating it and hacking it basically and then shipping it to you. So just make sure you buy them directly. I like Ledger, yeah. Like the nano ledgers are cool. So, but at the end of the day, like any cold wallet that's major is fine. Yeah, like they're all good, they all do the job. At the end of the day, it just depends how much crypto you have in there and whatever, but Ledger has served me well. But yeah, Brent, you got any thoughts on some altcoin stuff, crypto? I know it's been kind of like slow lately, but
For crypto, when we got in, it was good because we were at that low, about to get that push when we
yeah.
called the Cardano one and everything. I mean, Cardano was at 35 cents. It went to $1.33. It's still up in profits. It's still sitting up nice. Literally right now, because you said it, I checked. I have not checked because I'm the one to where we go in, and then from there, I literally just my Coinbase or below for notifications tell me whatever, like ADA is down, has dropped so much percentage, and it'll be like, okay, cool, let's buy more. Or ADA is up, buy. I'm like, oh damn, I probably want to take some out, right? That's really all I do. But looking at it right now, Chainlook looks really nice. It looks like it wants to take a little jump, which is cool. I've been following Chainlink for a long time. Cardano's still running nice. Stellar took a dip, which is good. I really like Stellar. Stellar's been the one that I've been saying I want to see it jump by April, May. Armin called it out too. I think we'll hit $4.20 on XLM, and that's huge. And again, I'm not a crypto educator or anything like that. Just looking at the charts, looking at the potential, what it's done, the pulls that it's done, it has that. So that's really like, I don't even have Bitcoin on my like side thing on TradingView. I don't even look at it. I could care less. Like that's just me. So I just look at XLM, ADA, Link. Those are like the three that I look. Obviously, I went in with Armin too on all the ones that he called out. I bought all just a couple $100 here and there on each, nothing big. Again, I like doing it just for the fun of it. It's like it's it's a not a FOMO, but it's like one of those FOMO things. So it's like, hell yeah, I want to have fun too. So it's like I'll drop 100, $200 on each, and that's it. It's nothing really major that I go for. I have other sorts of investments that I look towards, but it's cool to be in it, and why not? It's there. Like literally, if you guys have the ability to do it, why not? Might as well just throw something in there. But you have to have that mentality. Like anytime in trading, you risk only what you're willing to lose. I'm not
Nah,
selling.
bro, we
I'm
gotta we
not
gotta
selling
put
the
the
house.
house on it, bro.
As
We
much
gotta
as
put
I love XLM, I'm not gonna sell the house to buy XLM, right? As much as I love it, like no, like will I not go buy another unnecessary fancy shirt or this or that, whatever? Like sure, I'll rather make like you know what? I could blow this $100 on some BS, or I could put it in some more XLM. I'll put it in some more XLM. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me there.
yeah. I saw an interesting question from Diego about what month we're looking to pull out profits. I personally don't even know. Like I don't know about the timing. Like for all I know, these things never even move. It's more about like having a plan of target prices. Like for example, on the ApeCoin stuff that I called out, I look at the same smart money principles that I look at when I trade anything, right? Like areas of liquidity, we had all these highs, right? Like I got in at $1.50, it went into drawdown about to like $1. So I'm not really looking at a timetable. I'm more looking at target prices. Like for me, I'm looking at taking it to no less than $3, which is tripling almost no, well for me it'll be doubling, but if you got in like now it'd be like almost triple your investment. But I'm looking at all these targets from like $7. Really, I'm looking to take it to like 12, and these are calls that I did a while ago. And I know that this may take a whole year. I don't know. Like this is just one specific crypto, and ApeCoin is not even like a major crypto. It's just like a token for the NFT world. I think NFTs will make a slight comeback. We already saw a little bit of boost in interest again with the Pudgy Penguin stuff going on and everything. So I just think there's a time and place for NFTs to have at least somewhat of a comeback. So I'm not even looking to make like all-time highs or anything. I'm looking to make like maybe a half recovery of to what this used to be. And that will be almost a 10x investment for me. So when, I don't know, like if I knew, I probably wouldn't be on the Zoom right now with y'all. I say that all the time, respectfully, you know. But yeah, guys. So pretty much we've covered Nas, gold, cryptos, a little bit of everything, trading plan. So I think we're pretty set for the week. So if you guys let me actually share this so people can see, and then I think we had like one more question. Uh well, if it's just TTT, why can't we choose to trade if we're
Oh,
going to
yeah,
sleep?
that one's a little bit different.
Oh
So
yeah, that's
the thing
different. Yeah,
there,
of course.
it's gonna be a very you. So for me, I've been doing this for 6 years, guys. That's almost 6 years. I take a trade, either my own or a tap to trade. I'll get my phone, I'll put it in my nightstand, I'm going to bed. And I'm gonna look at it and I'm gonna go to bed. And then 5 minutes later, I'm gonna look at it again. And I'm gonna look at it again. I'm looking again. Because that's just how I am. Like, even if I trust the educator, I trust everything, either hit stop loss, take profit, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Like, I know they're managing it. Me and myself, I'm gonna naturally keep on looking because I want to look at it. You know what I mean? So if I want to have a nice, good amount of hours of sleep, I'd rather just not take it and go to sleep. But that's just me, you know what I mean? I don't care. I'll take a tap to trade on London. I don't care. I don't trade London. I don't like trading London. But if I'm awake, if I'm just playing whatever, I'm gaming, whatever, playing some content, and I'm gonna be up for the next 2, 3 hours, I'll take it because I'm awake. It is what it is. And I'm not gonna look at it and I'm not gonna get out early or this or that. No, but I'm awake anyways to where I could just naturally peep at it and see where it's going and get
I think
excited.
some people lost
That's
sleep
it.
looking at trades, bro.
That's it.
I think there's some people that can't sleep.
Yeah. If you, on the contrary, have the will and the strength to say, I'm going to take this tap to trade and I'm going to sleep like a baby, by all means, bro, take that tap to trade and go to sleep. You can do it. You do it. I don't. Like, I've not yet. It's not that I can't. I've not yet unlocked that ability to take a trade and go to bed and not look at it. But yeah, that's me.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like in theory, what you're saying is true though. Like if it's managed by the educator, whatever, you don't need to be up. All I say is exactly what Brent said. Audit your situation. Like you need like honestly, guys, look, there's people that expect this to just be a walk in the park and you're just gonna like accidentally make money. And then there's people that start to realize that you have to like treat this like a business if you want it to pay you. And part of something that you learn, like not just in trading, but in the world of business, is looking at all the factors of what gives a return and what is what's an asset and what's a liability to you. And if you really serious, I would look at all the different types of scenarios that you'll find yourself in. And that's why you have to give trading a while. Like, I'll give you an example. What happens when I trade NAS? What's my win rate? What's my average risk to reward ratio? All these things. And you'll see that like on your prop firm like dashboard, right? But then you're like, okay, well, how do I do compared to gold? Like these are easy comparisons to make, right? Like, oh, I do really good with NAS, but I suck with gold. Okay, easy to decipher that. You stop trading gold, for example, right? But start looking at the little things like what happens when I go to sleep on a trade? Like out of the last, and you might need to take 10 trades like that to even pick up on it. Like I've taken 10 trades when I go to bed at night and like I've lost eight of them. Probably tells you stop trading when you go to bed. And I think that's part of why Brent says what he says. Maybe for you is the opposite. Maybe for you, like you go to bed on your trades and it allows the trade to play out and it doesn't let you interfere with it because a lot of y'all like to interfere with your trades and maybe it does good for you. But you won't know your unique experience of this world of trading unless you create your unique experience. Like you need to go through 12 months of trading for you to pick up on your path. There will be overlapping things that happen to us that happen to other people, but you are going to have your experience, man, and you got to like learn it and adjust as you go. And you're seeing how Brent does it, how I do it, and you can ask obviously other people in akashx their experience and blah blah blah. So again, in theory, yes, if you're taking a product, the product is this, the educator is going to manage this for me. Of course, you should be able to sleep through it. It makes no difference because they're managing it for you. Brent just knows what he's doing and trusts himself so much as a trader that he's gonna make his own calls on it, you know? And that's not you, for example, or maybe it is, but if that's not you, if you don't even know what you're looking at, you don't know how to make a judgment call, then just do it. Like let the trade go overnight, let it be what it is, and see how it goes. And just because you lose one overnight trade doesn't tell you you should stop doing that. It's just one trade. You gotta give things a sample size. At least you gotta, every scenario that happens, you gotta give it at least 10 times to even call it a scenario. That's the part that you guys can't skip, man. I'm sorry. Like you can't escape that you need to have experience. You know, I like watching sports, man, and there's players that start their career not so hot and then they end up becoming very good players. And it comes down to them learning scenarios in the game, in a team, you know, that they pick up on good and bad things and they make adjustments until they become champions, bro, you know? And it's the people that learn to pick up on their habits, mistakes, positives, negatives. Like you got to get to know yourself so well and you got to get to know what you're trading so well that you've seen it all for you to become a master. So along the way, can you make, I've seen people make money their first 90 days without knowing shit. Sorry, excuse the language, but they'll probably go and mess up the account the next month, and that's okay. It's really okay. Honestly, like my ideal scenario for everybody in akashx is that you come in your first 90 days and make a lot of money, and then your fourth month you just really mess up and lose all your accounts because at least you made a lot of money up front and kept it, but then you learned that you actually need to learn. So like I want you to make money fast, but I also want you to bust your head hard and realize that like you're gonna have to come to a point where like you decide that you're gonna do this or you're gonna walk away. There's gonna be a day for that.
Yep.
There's gonna be a day. And sometimes that day comes in your first week. And some days it takes 3 months for people to realize that you have those crossroads.
Yep.
All I could ever tell you, man, is that you have to understand if it's worth it or not for you. If obviously it's been worth it for me and Brent, if not, we would have stopped a while ago, you know?
Yep.
But that's your call to make, man. But yeah, guys, we've covered a lot. We're gonna end the call here. It's typically a little bit longer than what we've done, but you guys, you know, we didn't stick to our trading plan promise, so we have to give you guys something to compensate until we give it to y'all. But yeah, oh, last thing, just sharing, you know, the session times. If you guys didn't know, you guys can follow Brent's live sessions. I'll show it on the screen, but Brent, if you want to announce your live
Yep.
session times and whatnot.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. And then Rich is live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So we're back to back Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 8 to 9, 9 to 10.
Yep. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. You guys heard it. I mean, those are really the money-making days, I would say. Also, a lot of people, bro, you know, it's crazy. Like, I've talked to people and, like, they still don't know that educator training series exists. It's crazy. You guys, if you go to Academy and you go to educator training series, you guys have boot camps for Brent. Look, he's number one. Of course, he's number one right here. Look at this.
And I'm redoing them.
Entire boot camp.
I'm redoing them. I was so excited. Like I had my notes and everything done by like launching the first year and I'm happy. And then what happens? The last week of December, I get sick. My voice is gone. I was all dying, but I want to make mine look nice and fresh like Rich's because Rich's they're all nice. They're updated the whole nine. So but yes, there's there guys for you. You need to use this. Like that's what I tell everybody when they start, right? akashxlaunch.com. Go through your first 48. Once you're done with that, go into the Academy educator training series, watch the educator training series of the educators you want to follow, go into some session replays, watch a session 2 of a replay, and then get into that live session. That's it. Like that. It's that simple. There's not much to it. It's that simple. It's just putting in the time to do it, and you'll see that it's worth it. That's all it is.
Yep. And then the last thing, guys, we have this event coming up. have our UK event January 18th. I don't even think you probably heard that. I forgot I have to share the sound.
It's we heard it. We heard it.
Oh, all right, cool, cool.
Yeah.
So, obviously for some of y'all, it may be completely short notice if somehow you didn't know about it, maybe you're new, etc. But man, look, there's gonna be events that pop up. Obviously, the closest one is in a couple weeks. I'll be in UK. You guys will be able to learn from a lot of great people there, and we've talked about the importance of events so much. I'm not gonna harp on that right now, but whether it's UK and if it's not UK, like you gotta be like trigger finger ready to buy the tickets for the next event that comes after UK. You gotta get to an event because man, like the people that win all have something in common and they all go to these events. I see everybody that wins and they all go to the events. Everybody that's like a 6, 7 figure earner, whether it's the marketing side or the trading side, they go to events. And in fact, they're hosting them, but they all started before they hosted them by going to them. So I'm just telling you like the intangibles. If you don't go to events, like I'm not saying you're not gonna make a lot of money. It doesn't even make sense right now to you. You're like, well, if I just learn how to trade, I'll be good. I get it. But I'm just telling you, go to the events. That's all I'm saying. So I'll leave it with that. I'll see you guys on the sessions this week. Appreciate you guys for tapping in with us as always. Brent, thank you, bro, for always taking the time to be here and making this call extremely valuable, bro. So yeah, guys, much love. And the recording will be posted in the chats. I think somebody asked that. So pay attention to the live calls slash replays section of akashx community every single time. And if you're not on the community chat, go to akashxlaunch.com and it has the link to the community chat.
No
There's
way.
no resource, there's
No
nothing that
way.
we haven't already shared on this exact call. Everything you need. So akashxlaunch.com, akashx community chats. All the replays, all the promotion, yes, Telegram. All the promotions of events, everything information is always on akashxlaunch.com or in the community chats. All right. So much love, guys. I'll let you go. Appreciate y'all. And as always, let's run it up.